Welcome again to another session in our Python course. My name is Opeyemi Olasokanyo. Logical operators are used to perform logical operations, and like we said before, they give a Boolean output. So we use logical operators to compare two different conditions, and we want to know if they qualify for a particular condition. For example, we have the logical AND, which help us to check if both conditions are true. For example, x, if I say 3 is less than 5 and 5 is greater than 3. Now, the first condition is that 3 is less than 5, which is true. And the second condition is that 5 is greater than 2, which is also true. So when we have two conditions which are true like this, the AND operator will tell us that yes, it is true. So let me run it so we can see that it is true. However, if one of the conditions is not true, then the AND operator is going to return a false, telling us that both conditions are not true. So let's say 5 is greater than 10. So we know that 5 is not greater than 10, but 3 is greater, 3 is lesser than 5. So with this, one condition is true, the other is false. Hence, and we return a false. So this is how the AND logical operator works. So if we are working and we have two conditions, we want to check if those two conditions are fulfilled, we use the AND operator. Now let's look at logical OR. OR checks if one of the conditions is true. So like here now, at least one of the conditions must be true. So here the two conditions are true. So if I put all here, it's going to be true because both conditions are true. So we are going to have true. However, for the second example, both conditions are not true. Only one of them is true. Since at least one of them is true, the OR logical operator will still tell us that yes, it is true because at least one of them is true. So if I change this to OR, we are going to have true. So however, if we say 7 is less than 5, that is not true. 5 is greater than 10, that is not true. So or will return false since none of the condition is true. So let's check. So that is how the OR operator works. Now, the NOT operator. The NOT operator tells us like the opposite or the inverse. Let me use an example to explain.
Hello.
So now we know that 7 is 7 is greater than 5. This is false. And 5 is not greater than 10, this is also false. So automatically, these conditions should return false. But when we put not in front of it, it's going to return true. Because what not is saying is that, is this not the condition here? And that will say it is true. Because the condition inside this place is false. And because it is false, the not of false is true. So if something is not false, then that thing or that event is true. So let's check again for another condition. Here we know that 3 is less than 5 is true, and 5 is not greater than 10, it is false. But this condition altogether is true because the OR operator is going to return a true as long as one of the condition is true. So, but if you put OR not in the front, so not here means that it's asking that, okay, is this condition inside here true or not? Since the condition inside here is true, then the not of true is going to be false. So if something is not true, then it is false. So let's see. Good. So we should run some examples by ourselves. I will provide this notebook in the description below this video, and we can play around these concepts. We are going to be talking about membership operators again. These are operators that help us to check if a particular value is present, usually in a sequence. For example, this is my name. So I want to check if this particular string is there. So if I check, it's going to return true because OPEY is there. So let me run it. So it's going to return true. So but if I put S here, you can see that after Y, the next value is A, not S. So it's going to return false. So now this is a list. If I want to check is 11 in my list, you know that there is no 11 in this list. So automatically it's going to throw us a false. But if I say is 1 there, in this list, 1 is there. So it's going to throw us a true. So that is how we check. So if we will have a data and they are in a sequence form, whether a list, a tuple or so, and we want to know if a particular value is in that list or is a member of that sequence, we are going to use the in or not in operator. So let's look at the not in operator. So I want to ask that so I'm saying that this particular sequence of strings is not in my name, which is true. It's not in my name. So because after Y we have E and M, not S and S. So this is going to return true. So however, if I say is this not in my name, because it is actually in my name, it's going to return false. So let's say that is 11 not in my list. If here now 11 is not in my list, so it's going to return true. However, if I say is 1 not in my list, 1 is in my list, so it's going to return false. Good. So this ends this particular session Thanks very much. We are going to be meeting in the next one, and do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel.